Guys, getting your very first deal in Rank and Rent is the very most important deal of your life, because once you get the first deal, you can get the second, third, fourth, and fifth. And what it does, it allows you to take a deep breath. It allows you to get rid of that desperation. We call it sales breath, and allows you to focus on actually providing value for your customer. And so the question becomes, how do you get that very first deal? What's the quickest, easiest way? And there's many different opinions on this. But as I've now coached over 550 students, somewhere in that ballpark, I've done it, myself in different industries. I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, if I was starting out today, what is the very best way to go and get that first deal. What I would do, and I've shared this advice a little bit before on some of my live streams and everything else. So for those of you that have been following me religiously, there may be a little bit of overlap. This is really sound advice. If you're brand new to this business and you love the model, you love the idea of building simple websites, ranking them on Google, renting them out for semi-passive income, rinsing and repeating and building an empire that way, listen up. Here's what I would do. If I was brand new, your very first deal, this is the hardest objection to overcome, is trust, okay? Bar none, that is the very most difficult objection to overcome. It's not price, it's not contract, it's not freaking this, that, or the rest. It is trust. If they can trust you, they can do business with you. If they cannot trust you, they will not do business with you. And so the question is, how do you build trust? Well, you build trust by showing people that you're actually going to get them results, right? And by showing them that, I've done this for XYZ number of companies in these different cities in the same niche as you, or I've done these for other companies in different niches in the same city, doing something to build that trust. But when you're brand new, you don't really have that trust, right? You are brand new. And so here's what I would recommend anyone doing to get that very first deal, no matter what, if you believe in this model. What I would do is I would sit down and I would go through my Facebook friends, I would go through my Instagram friends, I'd go through my contact list, I'd go through anyone that comes to mind. I'd just take a piece of paper and I'd write down every single person that I know that owns a business, a small local business. Okay, you could even start with any business in general, but it's most likely going to get filtered into small business anyway. So you're going to have a list of every single person that owns a small business. Okay, boom. You got to call them. Maybe you got 50 people, maybe you got 20, maybe you got 10, maybe you got 5, whatever it is, boom, jot them down. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go through that list, and you're either going to make a second list, or you're just going to start crossing out. You're going to go and circle or cross out. You're going to go and identify of that list the businesses that actually fit this model. Now, what I mean by that is there's a couple of things that need to happen. Number one is the business needs to be phone driven. Okay, meaning brick and mortar storefronts, can they work? Yes. Do they typically work the best? No. You want to have a business that's phone driven, where if somebody, you say a homeowner calls, they're not going to go in, they're going to call first and foremost, but they're not going to go into a storefront and shop or whatever. They're going to call a business owner and say, hey, come give me an estimate at my house. Okay. That is a phone driven business. Okay. So anything that's not phone driven, boom, cross it out. Okay. Then you're going to go and you're going to look and go, well, how many of these, you want to make sure it's not, too brand loyal, right? So some of these companies, some of these businesses, people really want to look into the business and the brand and the about section, right? So if it's, for example, I'm trying to think of one, for example, maybe like, dental implants, right? Now that wouldn't check the box anyway because it's a brick and mortar, but let's say you're looking at dental implants. If I'm getting dental implants, or I'm getting veneers or whatever the case is, I am going to want to look at a ton of different results. So here's a good example: bathroom remodeling, okay? Or remodeling in general. Can it work? Yes. Have I seen it work? Yes. But here's the deal. It's phone driven, yes. But if I'm going to spend $25,000 on a remodel, I want to see a bunch of their, past projects. And I'm going to want, it's very brand driven. I'm going to say, I'm going to go on Facebook. Who did you guys use? Whatever. That's brand driven. Okay. You're also going to go and look at which ones of these are not super high ticket, and anything that's really low ticket, you're going to want to get out of there. And you're just going to go through and you're going to cross out the ones that don't fit the model. Right. And again, the things that fit the model, not brand driven. It's going to be a phone driven business, not a brick and mortar. It's going to be, relatively high ticket. I would say $2,000 plus, unless it's really high margin. For example, duct cleaning is not high ticket. It's like $500 to $1,000 for regular homes, but the margins are juicy. It's like 90% profit margin, so it still can work, right? So you're going to go through, in any business that doesn't fit the mold, you're going to get rid of it. So let's say you have a buddy that's like got a software company. Could you get leads? Yeah, you could. Is it going to work? Well, it's really brand driven, right? And it's not that whatever. Most likely no, especially for your first deal. Boom, you're going to get rid of it. And you're going to go down, you're going to cross out all the businesses that do not fit the model. And what you're going to be left with is a handful of businesses that are that fit this model, the rank and rent, where you build a simple generic website, you rank it, you take the phone calls, and you sell them to the business owner, right? And those are going to be the people that you're going to call, and you're going to call them and you're going to have a conversation and be like, hey, if I could get you more business, this is the next step, is you're going to call and say, hey, how's it going? Whatever. Let me cut right to the chase. If I could get you more jobs, if I could get your phone to ring, could you handle more business? And would you want to handle more business? Those two questions. Can you and would you want to? And if they say yes to both, then you are talking to somebody. You have a very good chance. Then what I would say is, well, here's the deal. I'm going to start getting some phone calls in. If I get some phone calls in, would you be open to me sending you just a couple of these and then us talking about working together long term, right? You're right into that same pitch that you normally would be by cold calling, but now you're doing it with somebody that knows you. And maybe this isn't someone that knows you well. Maybe it's someone you met at the English class in college. Maybe somebody from high school. Maybe somebody from your football team. Whatever it is, doesn't matter, but at least there is some level of trust because they've been Facebook friends with you for however long. They've known you for 10 years. Whatever the case is, you have that trust. Now, if you've been an absolute piece of shit for how many years, you're probably not going to want to call that person if they know that you're that person. And that might be a little bit more difficult. But I'm hoping that you guys, for the majority of us, we tried our best to not be that person. But guys, this is the easiest way. You have to overcome the objection of trust or you're never going to get a deal. And there are ways to do that when you don't know someone. I've been able to call them today, never known them. They have no idea who I am. I don't have a company website, none of that. And within 24 hours, I have a contract, I have a credit card, I have all this for 6 months. In 24 hours, somebody that doesn't know me. But guess what? I know how to build trust. I've been doing this for a long time. I can show them other projects. I can show them other, my account on this software platform for my calls. I can show them, my Stripe account. I could show them all these different businesses I've worked with. And these are all things that are building trust. And I've done this for a long time. And they can tell by the way that I talk and the authority I speak with and the confidence I speak with. They're like, dude, this guy knows what he's doing. He's done this a million times. It'd be really, really difficult to fake this. But for those that are brand new, my recommendation, make a list of every single business owner you know. Step 2, get rid of all the business owners that don't fit, the businesses that do not fit this model, okay? And then number 3 is call the businesses that are left and say, can you take more business and do you want to take more business? And then boom, you're right into that trial phase. And then what I would do is if you got somebody that's really interested, that's like, yeah, let's do this thing and I'm going to give it a shot because they're maybe really close to you, brother, sibling, aunt, uncle, whatever, or yeah, that type of a thing, cousin, go for it. You don't even need to set it up. But if not, now what you can do is you can go set up a one-pager, you can set up the landing page, you can set up the ads in full confidence, knowing that you have somebody that will take the leads and that trusts you, and that's the hardest objection. That's going to be your most likely chance of getting a deal. So this is exactly what I would do if I was brand new, starting out, trying to get that very first deal in Rank and Rent.